Jai Shande friends, I am very thankful to all my subscribers and I hope I will be getting your support like this in future as well. In this series of videos, we will discuss about what is Saturn Rahu conjunction meaning and what will be the impact of Rahu Saturn conjunction in the first house, second house, third house and so on. Those who are interested in astrology and those who have this conjunction in birth chart, this series of videos will be very helpful to them. I have worked hard in preparing these series so that whatever analysis I have done during the past more than 12 years on more than thousands of birth chart will be helpful for you as well. So I request you to please subscribe and like the video as it takes a lot of efforts to prepare this video. So let's start. In this video series, we will discuss one of the unique combinations found in many horoscopes of the slowest moving planet Saturn and one of the malefics which causes pain even to the king of the zodiac and itself is a shadow planet, which means it is not visible by the naked eyes. That is Rahu, also known as the north node of moon as per the Western astrology. However, since we are primarily referring to the Vedic combinations and their readings accordingly, we will call this as Saturn Rahu conjunctions. Once we have discussed what this conjunction means, post that we will discuss its effect on health, married life, happiness, home and unexpected incidents in life with their positive or negative flavors and the best remedies which you can perform. So let's first discuss what is Saturn and what is Rahu in a birth chart. Saturn is one of the most feared and ill-famed planets by some astrologers for making a quick buck from innocent, unsuspecting clientele. Saturn is the slowest moving planet in Vedic planetary system. It stays in one zodiac house for at least 2.5 years. During its stay in a particular zodiac, it can also become retrograde and move backwards for some time. Once its distance from Sun decreases, it ends its retrograde motion. This means that Saturn is generally retrograde in a zodiac quite a few times. When it is retrograde, it is supposed to be more powerful in its aspect and its result giving as well. Because Saturn is slow, it is also termed as a lame planet and many times the issues related to lame walking of individuals and knee related issues are seen from the impact of Saturn on the individual through its positioning in the birth chart. Saturn is the servant. Saturn is the slowness in one's life, the obstacles in general, the harsh conditions faced by one for a reason of teaching that one is supposed to get from that planet and its dasha or transit on a particular house. Saturn is the moral obligation and boundaries created by one. Quite strangely, Saturn, the planet which is known as the Karka for servants in one's life, is also the judge amongst the planets and Saturn is what decides who gets what punishment during their lifetime as read in the horoscope. The main purpose of Saturn is to judge the karmas of a person and grant them the results accordingly. So when a person doesn't learn about maturity, responsibility, discipline and learn about the importance of service in general, Saturn gives very harsh results and turns a king into a servant or vice versa. Saturn is friends with Venus and Mercury and is equal respectful to Jupiter. Saturn is unfriendly with Sun, Moon and Mars, even though Mars is exalted in Saturn house of Capricorn. Saturn should not be feared but understood and one has to act in life accordingly. Many a time it is important for one to know that the results one is getting in this life are not for this life's karma but for the previous many lives as well, which have accumulated over time and one cannot move towards total inner peace unless one knows the secrets of how to overcome these past life karmas as well. Saturn Dasha is for 19 years, which is a very big period as it is a slow moving planet and it gives its result in a very concrete manner. Now let's discuss about Rahu. It is also known as the north node of the moon. It is a shadowy planet and is always moves in a retrograde manner. If other planets are moving from east to west, then Rahu and Ketu moves west to east. Another point to note with Rahu is it is always equidistant from Ketu, and both these are always retrograde. It's very rare and only for a very brief moment that these planets are seen as either stationary or in a non-retrograde motion. Rahu is the only planet which causes blackness or darkness over the light of the sun, even though for some time only, which at time lasts from a few minutes to a few hours. This phenomena is known as the eclipse, which could be either partial or full. With different times and different types of eclipse, it causes many distressful things in people's lives who are affected by it. Since Rahu is the head part detached from the stomach and other organs, it has the brain and the other sensory organs like eyes, ears, speech, taste and smells. Whereas Ketu is left devoid of all these and has only the portion which does not have these organs. This reason makes Rahu planet with the insatiable hunger for anything and everything, and at the same time it makes Ketu very spiritual planet which has everything in it and it craves nothing other salvation. Rahu is like an invincible glass which makes even the sunlight go dark when sun is eclipsed by Rahu. In a worldly sense, this means a person affected by Rahu by its position or dasha is totally blinded by the light of darkness, and no knowledge is helpful to the person unless there are other benefic aspects on the other primary planets in the horoscope like the ascendant, sun, moon and Jupiter. Rahu is always retrograde and it stays in a zodiac for about 18 months and its dasha is also for 18 years. Rahu is the desire of the person that one wants to fulfill in this life, whereas Saturn tells about the karmic balance one carries from his past life. Now let's discuss when do these planets meet in the zodiac. As we just discussed that Saturn moves around the zodiac in approx 30 years, that is 2.5 years in one zodiac sign, and Rahu moves around the zodiac in 18 years, that is approx 18 months in one zodiac sign. These two planets meet once approximately every 12 years. Since both the planets alone only are known as malefic planets, one can understand the effect of the combination or conjunction of these two malefic in a person's birth chart. The conjunction is one of the unique combinations of any horoscope, as one may consider two bad buddies being together in a place. One is responsible for individual's action and another is notorious to make one's thinking circuit go haywire. This combination will occur in 2-3 manners and positions. First, when Rahu and Saturn enter from the opposite direction, since Rahu is always moving in the retrograde motion only and Saturn goes retrograde for some time. Then once both the planets have entered a particular zodiac, the distance between them would be too large, so the effect could be a little less for the person. Slowly over the passage of time and movement of these two in the same zodiac will bring them close to each other, causing the poison they could create to become concentrated, and thus the result is given out by them as stronger. Once these two planets have crossed each other, they will start to move away from each other and eventually one of them will leave the zodiac first. So even in the journey of exiting the zodiac, the results would be different. What does the meaning of the meeting of these two planets, that is Saturn and Rahu, in a zodiac? According to a saying in Vedic astrology, Shanivat Rahu Kujvat Ketu means Rahu is like Saturn and Ketu is like Mars. These are the two dark energies of similar type but with different purposes, having been kept in the horoscope by the divine designer. This is not a very easy combination to decipher and the results would be different for different individuals. Other factors that could affect the good or bad results of these conjunctions are the aspect of positive planets on the ascendant or the ascendant lord, or a strong sun, or it could be a strong and unafflicted moon as well. In our next video, we will discuss how this conjunction affects a person when present in various houses and what factors could be beneficial and where it could cause some damage as well. As Rahu shows laziness and Shani shows slowness, we will discuss what it does in the first house and then what are the possible good impacts or the bad impacts, and what could be the mitigation factors for this conjunction for one's rescue from any possible bad results. Till then, may Almighty bless you always, and thanks for watching the video.